Party in Africa, run, run, until them in America. Run, 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 till them in London. Run, run, till them in Brazil. Run, run. Party in Africa. Hey, oh. Hey, oh. Hey, oh. That mama will be there. Hey, oh. Hey, oh. Hey, oh. That mama will be there. Welcome to Africa. Sweet mama Africa. Welcome to Africa. Sweet mama Africa.
My husband discovered this radio station yesterday on DSTV, and we are addicted to it. Your music, your top Shayela. I'm listening to you all the way from Uppington in the Northern Cape. You have given me the oomph. Nice music. Thank you. Keep it up.
Radio that reflects you and your ever-changing music taste. In tune with the listener. In tune with you.
It's UFM. We are in tune with you. Welcome if you've just joined in. My name is Sweetness Mutsepe, and yes, as you know, we are coming to you live from the city of Tshwane, Pretoria, and it's all for the State of the Capital address. Hey, don't forget to also keep an eye on our socials at UFM 898, and if you have anything to ask, anything that you'd like to, add to today's program, you're welcome to. The number to use for WhatsApp is 076-260-2815. As promised, currently in our studio, I am joined by Ntate Abel Dawu, who is the MMC for Human Settlements. Ntate Dawu, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to UFM.
Good morning, Sweetness, and I guess I'm in tune with you.
Absolutely, you definitely are, and today we are in tune with you.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. I mean, first things first, today is a very, very important day, but let's start with priorities of the city, especially when it comes to the social package. Let's talk about that.
Look, it is indeed, Sweetness, a very important day in the life of the city of Tshwane. Number one, you get to hear from the number one citizen of the city, giving hope, and I do believe that today's speech would do exactly that after a torrid time that the city has gone through. Now, one of the things that I'm hoping that the mayor would speak to is to give hope after the COVID pandemic to those who've lost businesses, to those who've really life has hit, COVID has hit them hard. We are right now going through public participations of the draft budget that is being presented to the citizens of Tshwane. And one of the things that we really did well on as the city, and I know that the mayor will speak to that, is the issue of the social package. For the longest of time, people never really could put paid to the idea that one of the pillars is that it's a city that cares for its residents.
Of course,
and,
yes.
We've budgeted well. I think we're sitting at a tune of just under 2 billion budgeted for the social package, where your indigents would be able to then get social relief in terms of your property rates, your rates and taxes, and all those who are qualifying for those rebates should really come out and apply for those, because as much as we are looking at tightening in our debtors book, we are also not heartless to understand that people can fall into hard times.
Of
and
course.
As this administration, we want to be having a heart that understands that our people are having it hard, and for those who qualify, will definitely be looking forward to making sure that we put them in this basket and this safety net that they are able to live in our city.
Very important, because we are all human before anything else. We need to have a heart, and I mean, you mentioned that, of course, you do know that you expect the mayor to touch on the social package. Something else that is always going to be a burning point is the issue pertaining to stands and also addressing housing backlogs. What is the city's position with regards to the release of stands and also addressing the housing backlog matter?
Look, the housing issue in Tshwane is really, really, really a thorny matter. You'd understand that we have over 210 informal settlements
yes.
that carry over 500 million people. who live there, let alone the over 200,000 people who live in back rooms, who still have their pharmacies, over 25,000 people who live in hostels where we were yesterday. And there's all sorts of housing challenges that really come quite some distance. But I think we are excited. We're starting to see the fruits of us releasing service stands. I mean, we're doing the same. We're doing parallel upgrades and parallel formalizations in areas like proposed Orchards 101, just on the other side of the N4, where we are moving, informal settlements in the northern corridor. Because one of the challenges that we're always going to have is that, especially with the current challenges of climate change and the unpredictable heavy rains that we're seeing what we see in KZN, and we've seen the same here in Tshwane. It becomes very, very important for us to fast track, moving people into safer spaces in pieces of land where we know that they can at least be able to establish their livelihoods in the meantime while they're waiting either for a subsidized house from the government and everything. And that's the attitude that we have adopted. And we are adopting. There will be a massive rollout of service stands from the city, looking at making sure that we reduce the demand that is there from people who are sitting currently in the housing demand register, and also people who are sitting in back rooms, but also dealing with effectively the informal settlements and making sure that we eradicate your illegal connections on our electricity network and the water as such, reducing water losses and electricity losses. So comprehensively, we had said as this coalition government that we want to really roll our sleeves and work hard to make a tangible difference. And I think it should be seen in the rollout of service stands.
Okay, absolutely. Let's talk about land parcels, and I want you to just, maybe elaborate a little bit on what land parcels are, but more than anything, what is the city's standing with the release of land parcels?
Look, we are conscious, number one, as a city, that we cannot solve all our problems on our own. And therefore it becomes important that you partner with the private sector,
of course,
who can invest
stakeholders.
Yes. So we have been going to council for the past two council meetings where we've released extensively a number of land parcels, some for social housing projects where we will be going into tender in the open market to say those who are able to invest and build in those parcels must come forth, because then you are able to then ensure that you don't only rely on state funds to build social housing for the people, but we are creating space for the private sector to play in. And all that the private sector has always been saying is that release strategic land in areas where you can be able to build on so that we stimulate the economy. And I think it's also an exciting stance that has been taken. We've seen the mayor going out extensively, to try and make sure that it releases those. There's one report that went to council last month for a refinery somewhere in the northern corridor. So these are exciting times in the city of Tshwane. There's so much that is going to be happening, and that is why I'm excited about today's speech, because for the first time in a long time, you're going to finally have the people of Tshwane hearing from the number one citizen saying this is what can be done, these are the possibilities in our city, and the release of those land parcels. It's not just in the CBD, but the policy on land alienation and how we want to maximize value out of that. Because one of the things that we need to be conscious of is that because of the challenges that were posed by COVID, but also the unemployment situation in the country, the tax base is diminishing, and therefore you cannot generate as much revenue from that base. Therefore it becomes important to look at other revenue streams and bringing in the private sector, stimulating growth in that space and making sure that we're creating jobs in the meantime and upskilling young people. It's really going to be at the heart of everything that we do as a city to take the city forward. So it's exciting times.
Absolutely. And if there's the city of Tshwane is known for upskilling young people, absolutely. So let's talk about something that is just as exciting, the Townlands Social Housing Project. Let's talk about the successes in regard to that, to the allocation of those units as well.
Look, we in December went out and invited people to apply. I can tell you that in a matter of days, we had received applications that obviously quadrupled the number of potential tenants. We've gone through a process of vetting and all other processes to making sure that those people that would then benefit from the project. But it's an exciting project.
Of course,
I mean,
yes.
it's the biggest in the country right now by the housing company Tshwane HCT, and it just unlocks the type of potential that the city has. I mean, taking an area such as Marabastad and bringing in a project of that size and making sure that you are able to then take it a notch up in a way of rejuvenating just that space on its own. It's exciting. But we're looking at tenanting. I think now in June, look, we went in there and we had made sure that we invite people to come through. So phase 1 is coming to an end. People who have qualified now obviously have been contacted, and therefore they're just waiting to move in. And again, it's one of those success stories that you can talk about as the city of Tshwane to say we're not just paying lip service in our idea of undermining the apartheid special planning, but we are actually doing it physically by bringing people closer. And it's no longer a situation of saying people who must be closer to town, like it always has been in our times, would be those who have better jobs and are earning well. But I mean, people who earn as little as 3,500 and up to 15,000 actually can come in and live here. And the scheme is geared in such a way that it allows for them to tenant at varying price ranges within that bracket. That does not put a burden on them,
of course,
but also that is inclusive. And the formula that is being used there, that's quite exciting. That we are really opening opportunities for the people out there, but it's also opening opportunities for the city to play in bigger spaces. There's more coming. I mean, I'm excited about orchards that will be coming on board not so long. There's one in Sunnyside that will also come on board, where we're looking at building these social housing projects where we can be able to bring people closer to where things happen, so that they too can be in tune.
Very, very, very important. Exciting times indeed. And lastly, I mean, of course, and I think perhaps we can all expect that the mayor is going to touch on the Metaya title deeds. From your end, how is that going? And also, what else do you anticipate that the mayor is possibly going to touch on during his address?
Look, the issue of title deeds has always been one of those that we are very committed to. I think more than anything in this dispensation, in the new era after 1994, the most important thing is to give people security of tenure and be able to say to somebody, this is your property, you can obviously hand it over or leave a legacy to your next of kin and to future generations. But also it gives people the sense that they have a place that they own, that they can now be able to start dreaming and say, what can I do in this piece of land that I own or in this property that I have? And it was quite important. We've been on a robust rollout. I just did one in Region 5 where we handed out title deeds. Yesterday I was in Region 7 and we're unblocking, challenges in the department where we're saying we want people to be able to go out and get their title deeds. There'll be a massive rollout and people should look out. I think we are going to Garankuwa next where we'll be doing the same. And there's been a lot of successes. In fact, the issue of title deeds in the department is a key performance indicator that we track because people need to be measured on some of these life-changing deliverables, and that is exactly what we are doing as a department. So I can tell you now that from the time that I've been here, we've just issued just under 1,000 already between now in this new term, and we are definitely fast-tracking to make sure that we issue as much title deed as possible. What we've also done is that now as a city we are looking at ensuring that we put funds aside to have in-house conveyancing to ensure that we fast-track, because for the longest of time we'd rely on province to be able to issue these title deeds, but we are saying we also want to have a mechanism in-house that allows us to make sure that we can fast-track the process.
Absolutely.
And lastly, looking at what else the mayor can talk to, I think the issues around safety, they're very, very important. I think our residents must know that there is commitment to keeping them safe, and you would have seen that there's a massive rollout of street lights and making sure that we illuminate dark spaces so that criminals cannot hide in there. I mean, the issue of substance abuse and how we're going to intervene, I expect that the mayor would definitely touch onto that, because families are at wit's end saying, what do we do? And
it's a problem.
Mamelodi and those areas. So we are obviously knowing that as the head of the city, we're hoping that he will touch on those issues. But above everything, I think he needs to also inspire, and he will touch on inspiring, workers of the city. I think they are the backbone of this organization, and they are very, very important to all of us, looking at ways to say, how do we meaningfully ensure that we validate the employees of the city, even as we go through a difficult financial period. And finally, obviously, it would be talking to the finances. It's important to urge our residents to pay their rates and taxes in full and in time, because they would be fined for tampering with both electricity and water. And we urge our people to come through when there are challenges. We spoke of the social package, but above everything, let's pay for our rates and taxes, because it is through those rates and taxes that we can deliver better services to our residents.
MMC, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And there you have it, that they're able to, the MMC for Human Settlements. We are still coming to you live from Tshwane House, of course, all for the State of the Capital address.
With a friend of a friend who's not my type, but for some reason I like all the attention. Drinking our parents' wine while they went out on vacation. We tried our hardest, but there was no way to replace it. And to be honest, I bet they see it on our faces. There was more gin and juice. What are we supposed to do? I love it here, where we grew up as kids. I love it here. Sometimes I reminisce. Yeah, I love it here. I love it here. I love it here. I wouldn't change a bit. Remember when we stay up late on school nights? Remember 2:30 on a Friday, getting ready in the bathroom, deciding which boys to visit, which boys we be kissing. Oh, how nothing's different. Still drinking our parents' wine while they went out on vacation. We tried our hardest, but there was no way to replace it. And to be honest, I bet they see it on our faces. There was more gin and juice. What are we supposed to do? I love it here, where we grew up as kids. I love it here. Sometimes I reminisce. Yeah, I love it here. I love it here. I wouldn't change a bit.
FM keeps Zirast in tune with you.
Kidding. Yeah. It's not a lot that you've been saying. What I can tell from your body language. Okay, let's talk about it. If it's your body, let's talk about it. But you ain't gotta say too much. Ain't gotta say too much. I can read your body language. Ain't gotta say too much. I can read your body language. language. Said you ain't gotta say too much. Hate when you say that I play too much. When I get too close, I'ma touch that subject. I can read your body, no set. Not with all that yapping. Need less talking, a little more action. Yeah. Now, girl, keep it G. Now you speak a little freak. I can hear it in your accent. Said, tell me, can you understand my language? If you try and ride, just stay in my lane. There's no other way to explain it in layman. Who you came with?
It's not a lot that you've been saying, but I can tell from your body language. Okay, let's talk about it.
About it.
If we should about it.
About it.
Let's talk about it.
About it.
Can we talk about it? But you ain't gotta say too much. Ain't gotta say too much. I can read your body language. Ain't gotta say too much. I can read your body language.
It ain't hard to tell. If you don't wanna take it too far, then well, you better stop flirting and stop twerking. So perfect, cause it's working. That worth all the worship. You been in your bag like Birkin. Never had it like this before me. You ain't no girl, better read up on me. You tryna get, gotta re-up on me. Being stuck up gon' leave you lonely for the night. We should leave before the lights on, girl, I'm too on.
It's not a lot that you've been saying, but I can tell from your body language. Okay, let's talk about it.
About it.
If we should about it.
About it.
Let's talk about it.
About it.
Can we talk about it? Yeah, but you ain't gotta say too much. Ain't gotta say too much. I can read your body language. Ain't gotta say too much. Oh, they say don't judge a book by its cover. We can make a scene to keep it under the cover. Listen, you ain't gotta say too much. Ain't gotta say too much. Talking, girl, yeah, come close. Let me know a lot that you've been saying. I can tell from your body language. Okay, let's talk about it.
About it.
Get you about it.
About it.
Let's talk about it.
About it.
Can we talk about it? But you ain't gotta say too much. Ain't gotta say too much. I can read your body language. Ain't gotta say too much. I can read your body language.
You before noon with Sweetness Motibe.
Give me your attention, baby. I gotta tell you a little something about yourself. You're wonderful, flawless, ooh, you a sexy lady. But you walk around here like you wanna be someone else. Ooh, I know that you don't know it, but you're fine, so fine.
Fine, so fine.
Ooh, oh girl, I'm gonna show you when you're mine, oh mine.
Mine, oh mine.
Treasure, that is what you are. Honey, you're my golden star. You know you can make my wish come true. If you let me treasure you. If you let me treasure you. Pretty girl, you should be smiling. A girl like you should never look so blue. You're everything I see in my dreams. I wouldn't say that to you if it wasn't true. Ooh, I know that you don't know it, but you're fine, so fine.
Fine, so fine.
Ooh, oh girl, I'm gonna show you when you're mine, oh mine.
Mine, oh mine.
Treasure, that is what you are. Honey, you're my golden star. You know you can make my wish come true. If you let me treasure you. If you let me treasure you. You are my treasure.
FM, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in tune with you.
Understanding and compassion are not signs of weakness. True signs of strength are respect and self-control, especially when upset or feeling humiliated. My name is Itumile Nkwena. Don't call me brother if you abuse or violate those who are vulnerable.
Don't Call Me Brother is a UFM initiative against GBV and child abuse.
It's UFM. We are in tune with you, still coming to you live from the city of Tshwane. Welcome. Yeah, if it is your first time tuning in. By the way, great news. We will definitely bring you the executive mayor's address live on our socials, live on our Facebook page at UFM 898. While you're at it, you can follow us. Yeah, we are at UFM 898 across the board. Of course, still coming to you live from the city of Tshwane for the State of the Capital address. That conversation with the MMC for Human Settlements, Mtate Abel Dau, is definitely still on the way and most certainly worth looking forward to. And also perhaps we'll get his thoughts on what it is that he anticipates the executive mayor will definitely talk about today. I mean, of course, the city of Tshwane has been hard at work. We'll also talk about just some of their greatest highlights from the year that has been, all that and more still coming up. Once again, that number to use throughout the show, 076-260-2815.
Moments so deep. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylight, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in beaches, in miles, in laughter, in strife.
لخوم ربخلا لخوم سالميت انتو خير تخرج السنس تخو بنخل بيبو سيري منطول ورجيت نتلبين في الخوم جالي ورتين تتكسر عن سيكو تكانا للينكو خواشا خواسي سابسيرو نفاسي تحسي لخلا سوتو ما نتسابالا لكيسي بابولاي باي متكاربا تسيري وانا مكاي ناي نلالوينا مطلع خالي خاسي مطلاي وكاتسا قولي منيبو متيري جاكا جارا باتوك حانا بيتي ملو جاكا كابونا تانا مانا تيما بيري أمو خيلا Siata mundo mukweli le kweli Kibura mitsuti di secondo Ese kare ki kwe para kani pondo Era meta kapu dunyega Bafaipa nile jara wera musime Sine Sile wa sine kisa semanta Sijo
125,600 years 125,000 journeys to a land 125,600 years
Kasi bona guy, kasi bona mamatama waka Tanta pera hera, pagkakina kana sa Semena ila sera, guy, Moroko, Gebacho, Kopoto, Yoga, Akita, Hakehema, Timon Milen, Huko, Ray, Hospital, Bona Bofere, make a similar time. No food, no job, please, Yanawari. You know good, your flop, go to hell, no. Abon, Alatiama, to the toe. Kuchabo togo de mano na que paga de foro que me dan wa haka le rato de que la mojela ese pone que bona quiero le peti muti prote a quiero fifi no pa para la capona kuda se le masama de sase de si se la ca con la foto de techo de si
525,600 years 125,000 journey to a land 125,600 years. How do you manage the life of a once
Kutata mangana pa, kesua tue sapa, desile zafa sile bagwa, kesala ke musana opo janari di manonaja, gaile ma renja ngasawa, khala uga di klamelwana di kama di au anda di dula we me the karatela. 45 kolomela Intidi bukorobela Kipo sosela Masati fakiri Mabusiyo panotsara Mabutimo na pososela Jara busipatsela Ulibile ka Spice uwena Kibuta sepela Udime na jara
For me, 102, and boy, I know I better see my temper just through the room. If it's a camera up in here, then it's only you put me what I do. If it's a camera up in here, then I best like I just click on YouTube. Close up your on your mouth and brag about your secret rendezvous. I will hunt you down, cause baby, I'm up in my business like a wedding interview. This is private between you and I. Touch my body, give me on the floor, whistle me around, play with me some more. Touch my body, put me on the bed. I just wanna make you feel like a holiday. Touch my body, let me roll the eyes, all around your waist, just a little taste. Touch my body, know you have the curves, come on, give me what I deserve. And touch my body, you can put me on it like a brand new white tee. Your body tighter than my favorite jeans. I want you to caress me like a tropical breeze and fly away with you in the Caribbean Sea. If it's a camera up in here, then it's only you put me what I do. If it's a camera up in here, then I best like I just click on YouTube. Close up your on your mouth and brag about your secret rendezvous. I will hunt you down, cause baby, I'm up in my business like a wedding interview. This is private between you and I. Touch my body, put me on the floor, whistle me around, play with me some more. Touch my body, put me on the bed. I just wanna make you feel like a holiday. Touch my body, let me roll the eyes, all around the waist, just a little taste. Touch my body, know you have the curves, come on, give me what I deserve. And touch I'ma treat you like a teddy bear. You won't want to go nowhere. My love and lingerie, baby,
It's UFM. We are in tune with you. Top of the morning to you if you've just joined in. It's UFM. We're in tune with you. Top of the morning to you if you've just joined in. Just had Dukes. 525,600 minutes. I always pride myself in pronouncing that title correctly because we're thinking most of the time, but it is what it is. If you've just joined in, we're out and about coming to you live from the city of Tshwane, all for the State of the Capital address, of course, said to be delivered by the Executive Mayor Randall Williams. We are still bringing you everything that you need to know from our end. For now, though, it is 10 o'clock. We are officially in the second hour of the show. Time for the news.
News on UFM.
Morastenbeek di temperature go 23, Mahikeng 24, Potchefstroom 22, fa Pretoria ele 23. Mo kgasong ye o tla utlwa mo khuruthumaga o boitekanelo mo Northwest Solofetse go etela bookelo jo bo tlakaitsweng ke molelo maabane ba JST mo Rustenburg. A gape le moeteledipele wa EFF Julius Malema Solofetse go etela kwa eThekwini gompieno. Dikgang tsa ura ya lesome mo UFM ka dima ka tsogeng kwe madumeki ao gape mo khuduthumaga wa boitekanelo mo Northwest matota Sambatho Solofetse go lekola seemo kwa bookelong ba Job Shimankane Tabane morago ga gore karolo ya bookelo jo e jewe ke molelo maabane bosigo go ya ka lefapha la boitekanelo mo profenseng eno motho wa le mongwe o alafelwa go hema mosim wa molelo o sa itsebeng gore o tlhodilwe ke eng se bueledi sa lefapha Tebogole Tshwane.
Indeed, there was fire that affected part of the mental health unit at the Job Shimankane Tabane Hospital last night. What we know at this stage is that all the patients and the equipment are safe, except that one patient has been admitted at casualty for issues of smoke inhalation, but also the MEC Madola Sambata will visit that facility today just to assess the impact of fire.
Puso ya Northwest Solofetse go tsereganya mo seemong se se bakilweng ke merwalela kwa Dialpan kwa masepaleng wa Tshwane tse di tlogetseng kana morwalela o tlogetseng magologolo a baagi ba sena magae tonakgolo ya Northwest Bushimape Solofetse go etela lefelo le gompieno e setse le sebaka sa kgwedi kgaolo e o itemogetse morwalela mme dipula tsa morago jana di etegeditse seemo meyara wa ngaka modiri molema Khumalo Molefe Solofetse go nna karolo ya ketelo eo. Mo go tse dingwe moeteledipele wa EFF Julius Malema Solofetse go etela mafelo a milweng ke matlhotlhapelo a kwa KZN gompieno. Malema Solofetse gape go neela batswasetlhabelo diphuthelwana tsa dijo le dikobo gareng ga tse dingwe. Re sa lefong beke e fetileng lekoko le nyaditse thata seo le reng ke go goga dinao ga puso mo go thuseng batswasetlhabelo bao. Se bueledi sa EFF Leon Mateis.
A SOCA state, at its very least, is expected to immediately intervene at the first announcement of severe weather conditions. Instead, the ANC hyenas, led by Cyril Ramaphosa, showed up days later for a straw mat photo shoot while scouting its next looting expedition. Then we have the South African National Defence Force, who was deployed to harass households to confiscate sanitary pads following the July 2021 civil unrest. They are only due to assist the flooded province in the upcoming week.
Kwa bokhutlong baagi ba kwa Khuma kwa Stilfontein ba ikuela go setlamo sa moepo sa Harmony Gold go batlamelang ka mobile clinic e tlileng go ba thusa mo malwetseng a tlholwang ke lerole le le tswang kwa letamong lengwe la moepo o Boitumelo Tshetle wa bega.
Community leader Lenape Champers says residents require medical treatment.
The mobile clinics, Kamoharha, Watikisa, Kuma as a whole, Stilfontein, Netflix Store, Batuba, Duty Fella Hayemo, Basakono, Hotola, Chance or Bayakudi Medical, Bakono Chekiwa, or Ameva Tuba, Baketis,
The mine spokesperson Sitle Mike says a health evaluation was conducted.
We have a comprehensive dust management plan that looks at water emitters and vegetation on the side slopes. Our dust monitoring results show that we remain in compliance and even well below the expected thresholds.
About 17 people died in 1994 when a slime dam collapsed in Maritzburg, Free State. Boitumelo Tshetle, News Note, Kuma.
Mo gasong ya re utlwile gore mo khuruthumaga wa boitekanelo mo Northwest matota Sambatho o tlile go etela bookelo ba Job Shimankane Tabane mo Rustenburg go lekola seemo morago ga molelo o letseng o runtse maabane. Dikalo tsa urai tse di latelang ke tsa ura lesome le bongwe.
For more on these stories, visit newsnote.co.za.
Here's to the rebirth of radio. Radio that's in tune with its people.
In tune with the listener.
In tune with you. That's what radio's all about. You are radio.
And radio is you.
So you deserve radio that reflects you and your world, your lifestyle,
your aspirations,
and your ever-changing music taste.
Radio that keeps its fingers on the pulse.
Radio that delivers up-to-date news and well-researched content.
A listener-led radio station.
Radio that doesn't speak at people,
but radio that listens and engages its listeners. The rebirth is here. Radio that laughs with you,
cries with you,
celebrates with you. Radio that understands you.
Our purpose is to use the magic of radio to inspire the human race.
That's why we do what we do.
We listen to inspire, forever keeping in tune with you.
No matter where you are, we stay in tune with you. UFM. You before noon with Fitness Motivated from 9 to 12 p.m. every Monday to Friday only on UFM. In tune with you.
Almost anywhere, haven't I taken you? Almost everywhere. Think of all the things that we shared, and imagine me not there. Oh, giving you more chemistry, baby. Got you, baby. You share anything I got, you can have it, baby. I'll do magic. I'll do all I can to keep you satisfied. So just in case I don't make it home tonight, baby. Just in case I don't make it home tonight. Oh, let me make love to you for the last time, baby. Hey, sweet love, you are like the last, 'cause baby, you're about it. So just in case. Just in case I don't make it home tonight. Just in case. Just in case, just in case. Each moment like the last, 'cause baby, you're a better half. So just in case. Yeah. And I made you feel so special. As your man, I've held your hand, never letting go. Let you hold the keys to the Lexus. Drive, gave you all you need and want as long as I'm alive. Even from the heavens of the world, I'll shine on. Too much is never enough. Ooh, you're all I want. Even when I'm gone, love will carry on. Just that strong, so just in case. Just in case I make it home tonight. Let me get home, please. Wanna cherish each moment like the last, 'cause baby, you're at a house, so just in case. Oh, just in case I don't make it home tonight. Just in case. Wanna cherish each moment like the last, 'cause baby, you're at a house, so just in case. The last time. Oh. Baby, you know I love you. Baby, so well. You're my anything, my everything, my wife, my queen. So if something happens to me, there's something you need to know. Just in case I make it home tonight, let me make love to you for the last time, baby. I love you. Wanna cherish each moment like the last, 'cause baby, you're gotta have. So just in case I don't make it home, I want you to know. Just in case, just in case. Let me make love to you for the last time, baby. You're my heart, you're my soul. Yeah, you make me whole. 'Cause baby, you're gotta have. So just in case, baby, I want. Just in case, I know.
stop, you are 97.0 FM.
Come on, let's keep it real here. Abuse grows from toxic attitudes and a lack of values, not feelings, not because she made you mad or something. The roots are ownership, the trunk is entitlement, and the branches are control. You're a control freak. My name is Tony Mack, and don't you ever call me brother if you won't stop the abuse.
Don't call me brother. It's a UFM initiative against GBV and child abuse.
In tune with you.
It's UFM. We are in tune with you. 11 after 10. Welcome to the second hour of the show. If you've just joined in, my name is Sweetness Mutsepe. Of course, still coming to you live from the city of Tshwane. Of course, all for the State of the Capital address set to be delivered by Executive Mayor Randall Williams. I mean, of course, everyone is really anticipating his address. I think, look, I'm expecting that he's probably going to make reference to how much money the city managed to collect. Of course, the city managed to collect on its ruthless campaign. Remember, to clamp down on non-paying customers. Remember the last time I read on it, it was actually announced that the city collected almost 500 million rands in that one campaign. Just by the way, so I'm expecting that the mayor is definitely going to, get into that one, touch on it. Remember, the water and electricity disconnection blitz was actually implemented. And it was all because the municipality was trying to recuperate about 17 billion rands that is owed to it by government departments, commercial properties, embassies, as well as homeowners. So no one was left to say, no, we forgive you, we understand, So yeah, it's a big one. It was a very, very big one, probably one of the most talked about campaigns recently, So we're gonna get into that slightly later on. Don't forget, we will definitely bring you the live stream of the mayor's address on our Facebook page. That is at UFM 898. By the way, the address is set to begin at 11 o'clock. So all that and more still coming up. It's UFM. We're always in tune with you. Don't forget to also stay in tune with me on WhatsApp 076 260 2815.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Same old story back again. She's not a lover, she's just a friend. I'm sick and tired of you to blame on me. Now you think it's funny. Now you wanna spend your money on girls that you forgot when you were down, that I was around. Call my lover and call again. What in the world is happening? Listening, but don't yell at me. Isn't it ironic? All you wanna do is smoke chronic. Oh, and you forgot when you were down, who was around. I can't eat, I can't sleep anymore. Waiting for him to walk through the door. I wish I didn't miss you anymore. Ooh.
forever being you. Wish you bring back the man I knew was good to me. Alone. Every time you say you're coming, boy, you disappoint me, honey. How long you forgot when you were down and I was wrong? I can't eat, I can't sleep anymore. Waiting for love to walk through the door. I wish I didn't miss you anymore. I can't eat, I can't sleep anymore. Waiting for love to walk through the door. I wish I didn't miss you anymore. One of these days it's gonna happen to you. Missing a love like I'm missing you. One of these days when your dreams come true, that's the one that's gonna do it to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't eat, I can't sleep anymore. Waiting for love to walk through the door. See, I wish I didn't miss you anymore. Yeah, I can't eat, I can't sleep anymore. Waiting for love to walk through the door. I wish I didn't miss you anymore. I can't eat, I can't sleep anymore. Waiting for love to walk through the door. I wish I didn't.
Brunch with Sweetness, Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 12 midday on UFM 89.8 FM to 103.9 FM. In tune with you.
Yeah, you know it. Oh,
Gamketa skonya zonke zipelele. Gamketa skonya zonke zipelele. Gamketa skonya zonke zipelele. Gamketa skonya zonke zipelele. Ambigwe alta.